Hey, what up, guys? Decided to review a movie today that I had been wanting to revisit for a long time, and I kept putting it off, kept putting it off. I don't know why, because I ended up actually loving it a lot, rewatching it, and it's NIGHTBREED by Clive Barker. And the last time I saw this, I think it was like the Warner Archive DVD years and years ago, and yeah, I remember thinking it was okay. I remember not being the biggest fan of it. I think because I was thinking I was wanting more stuff like Hellraiser and all that. When I did see this, I was like a huge Clive Barker fan, and for some reason it had let me down or whatever. I remember I'd loved Lord of Illusions, but Nightbreed kind of had let me down. So I kept putting it off, but I decided this was on sale for like 15 bucks, I think, at FYE last year, and I ended up picking it up and giving it a rewatch, and I actually really enjoyed it a lot this time around. Essentially a basic plot for people that don't know, which is probably very few, but essentially this guy, Boone, he played by, what the hell is his name? Craig Sheffer. He was in Hellraiser 5 Inferno. He basically, he's having these dreams of Midian and stuff, which is this world these monsters live in below this cemetery. And he's telling his therapist this and all that, played by David Cronenberg, which is a really badass role, and it's cool seeing him play essentially the villain in this movie. And David Cronenberg's essentially using Boone to find Midian and all that and get everything from that. So he's pretty much trying to set Boone up and all that, get all his secrets and stuff. So there's that whole plot line going on, and then there's the whole plots with the monsters that live in Midian and all that, and they're, you know what I mean, they kind of convert Boone to their side, and there's a whole love story with it too and everything. So there's a lot of different little plot points going on, but it keeps your attention throughout, and it's a really good movie. Really good sets, really good atmosphere. The acting's good. The creature effects are top notch, amazing. The designs are amazing. You can tell it's Clive Barker designs. Pretty much everything is great. I think David Cronenberg's look and his mask is a really amazing looking. I don't have the theatrical version anymore. I don't know what happened to that DVD, but I'm going to buy it just so I can compare the theatrical version to the director's cut, or I may end up just buying the Arrow version to get both cuts. But yeah, really solid movie. I'm really curious to see how it compares to the theatrical cut. It is a long movie, 2 hours long, so I guess not that long. But yeah, this had a troubled thing. Like, essentially, who put this out? Morgan Creek. They put out a different cut because they didn't like the cut Clive Barker did, and then there was a big petition, and they ended up making this cut. And I think there's another cut that's even longer or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's a great movie. If you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend checking it out. This Blu-ray here looks fantastic, so you may want to get this one. But Arrow does have an edition out too that may already be out, or it's coming out soon, that has the theatrical cut and the director's cut, and then that's the original artwork there. But yeah, I think Scream Factory kind of fucked up with that by not including the theatrical cut with this release. They made you pay $80 or $90 to get both cuts, and it was like a huge debacle with that too. So I wish they would have included both cuts, kind of like what they did with Texas Chainsaw 2 or whatever. It's kind of bullshit that you're pretty much forced to double dip on this movie to get the theatrical cut. Like, you got to either buy the Arrow version or you got to buy the DVD. And to me, that's really lame that Scream Factory made you do that. So for that reason alone, if you're going to get it, I'd say support the Arrow edition, because they're giving you both cuts. They're not half-stepping, making you buy 2 copies, and they're not making you pay $80 for a box to have both cuts of the film. That's my only gripe with it. This does have a lot of features on it, though. It has a new director's cut with over 40 minutes, introduction by Clive Barker and the guy who kind of helped bring this cut together, new interviews with all the actors and stuff, and a theatrical trailer. So yeah, just for the fact that Scream Factory got greedy with this release, I would say support Arrow's version. But if this is a lot cheaper and you only want the director's cut, go ahead and pick this up. I'm sure it's like 20 or less. But anyways, guys, I'll see y'all next week. Peace.